Okay. Hey, Bob, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Bonnie. How's it going?
Well, clearly I've got a few problems going on today, but I'm all good. I'm all good. Congratulations on the film. I loved seeing you in this role. Okay, before we start talking about the craziness of this movie, what was it like to play this guy? He's gross, he's sweaty, he's weird, he's just like too much fun, I think you had.
Yeah, I loved it. It's great. I thought it was this movie it's subtly very physical movie. It's weird. Like, we realize it, but there's a lot of things happening to each character, and there's a lot of uh stuff happening. So I love that. I love the nature of that.
For sure. So, what was it? Had you read this graphic comic? Like, tell me a little bit about when you were presented with the script. Had you known about it, or was it just your first reading off the script?
Yeah, no, it's off the script. I mean, I didn't get the script until a week and a half before they were supposed to start shooting. So
Whoa.
yeah, well, and then I had a long conversation with Rob, the director. He sent me all the graphic novels. I looked at some of them, but I didn't really get a chance to. I had to dive into the script and kind of break it down and get into it. So I mean, it was really just off the script and Rob's pitch, and I just thought to myself, I try to do everything I can do. If I think it's going to be, you just never know with these things because you don't know what the execution is going to be like or what's going to, happen with it down the road. But I mean, it turned out amazing, and Rob's great. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I got lucky.
Especially for his first time directing. That's pretty cool. What was it like to work with him on that level? Is he very collaborative with all of you? And did he let you kind of give you that freedom to, give your ideas and go with the characters?
Yes, he's. He was. You wouldn't have known it's his first time directing. For how much he had to do every day because we had a pretty crunch schedule. No, he's great. You had answers to all the questions. He wasn't too overbearing. Kind of like push you this way a little bit, push you that way a little bit. But really, all the actors, we didn't have time to rehearse, so everyone kind of came together. I think everyone made their choice, and Rob put this team together that just worked. There was never a time where it's like, no, what he's doing isn't work for what I'm doing. It all was pretty seamless, quite honestly.
Yeah, what was it that stood out to you about the script? Because as I've been describing it, it's so well, it's hard to describe it, but it's also quite the ride and so mind bending. It reminds me kind of like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's I I you know it was the story. It was very well written, and like I said, Rob's pitch. I mean, I would have done anyway. I'm saying, but without Rob's pitch, it would have been harder to sort of visualize. But I just love the character. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, oh man, I'm doing this. This is incredible. And
Yeah.
they asked me to do it. I read it. I was like, yep, let's go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and tell me about working with this cast, like Vincent, and it's a really good, solid cast.
Really good. I mean, it was Chelsea and I hung out a lot. We had trailers next to each other, so we would sit outside and talk a lot. And she's great.
Yeah.
Vincent's amazing. Like I said, I think everyone sort of picked their avenues, and it all worked out. I mean, that's to Rob's credit. These are the kinds of actors I want, and I put them in a big bowl of soup. See what happens.
And yeah, this was a big bowl of soup for sure.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. I've been talking to everybody from the cast, and I one thing that really stood out for me when I was watching this movie is it really speaks to power, people who are in powerful positions, and how manipulative people can be. And it made me think because I watched this movie for the first time last year when you guys had it at the film festival, and then I just watched it again recently. And when you look at what's been happening in the world, especially I'm talking to you from Canada, so with your former president, and and now of course what's going on with Russia, and I just on and on. When you look at manipulation, especially with social media, this really rings true. This film, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think manipulation is power, and power is an addiction. And I think a lot of people, you put in the wrong hands, that's what you get. Unfortunately, and I think you're right. If somebody like, like Putin's doing right now, somebody wants to manipulate a situation and put out false narratives and fake news and whatnot, and then tell everyone that the other side is fake news. You
Right.
just spin everyone's head, and nobody knows what's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's a more obvious form, but yeah, people like this that are pathological, they can't help themselves. They really can't.
Yeah.
You see an opening, they're going to jump in. It doesn't matter if they get caught; they're going to go right back to it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Really, like I said, it just really, really makes me think. You've done so many great things in your career. You've had the opportunity to work with so many wonderful people. What is it now when you get something that kind of stands out for you and thinking, yeah, I want to try that? Is there something particular?
Mm, I I try to do everything. To be honest with you, like you never know what's going to happen. Like you know, if I read it and I like the script, um, then yeah, then I'll jump in. You just never know what's going to happen. If you start turning too many things down, pretty soon the work stops coming to you.
Right.
So I'd like to do as much stuff as I can, and so yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
Well, we saw you in the series which I love, The Chair. I love that series. I think it's so great. There's going to be another season, which is wonderful. But Sandra Oh, I mean, she's our girl. But that cast, I mean, come on. Jay
Yeah,
Duplass is so good in this show.
yeah.
Everybody was so good. What was it like to work on that?
It's good. Is there going to be another season? I hope there is.
That's what I hear. I heard that
Oh,
they're
good.
pretty
I
good.
hope
I think Amanda Peet did an amazing job with this.
she was great. She was
Yeah.
great. I was just sitting here in the middle of COVID, and I got a phone call from my manager and said, Amanda Pete wants you to be in the series that she's doing. I was like, yes.
I don't care what it is.
I haven't read it. I don't know anything about it. I was
Yeah.
like, let's go. Because she and I did a movie years ago, The X, and
Yeah.
we got along really well. She's so good. She's so funny. And she was on set every day, kind of show running this thing, and she really was, yeah, hats off to her. She did a great job. The scripts are great. So that cast, man, that was we didn't all work with each other all the time. And there was
Right.
one day when Sandra, because we shot in Pittsburgh, so she organized kind of like, and it's March, it's winter, or it's February,
Yeah.
it's winter, it's COVID. So she organized a big walk for everybody. We met in front of the hotel, and then we just walked down the river together. That was the only time that we really all hung out in one night
Wow.
together. Yeah, it was really nice to like meet everybody, and it was just so in awe of like Bob Balaban and all these
Well,
incredible actors. I'm like, oh,
right?
yeah.
Taylor Holland. I mean,
Oh,
everybody.
Taylor's like
Like,
Taylor is feisty. Taylor is feisty. She's the greatest, man. I was a huge fan going in, and
yeah.
I told her when I left, I'm an even bigger fan now. I mean, she is so talented, so talented.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Yeah, it's a great series. So I hope, yeah, from what I hear, I heard it was
Okay,
good.
great. I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully you'll get another call from Amanda. So that's
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on this. I thought you did a really good job in this film, and just a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you today, Bob. Thank
Thanks,
you for your
Bonnie.
time.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.